you were a team that, well, A, have you seen that? And B, if there is any truth to that whatsoever, if you were a team that were acquiring a top tier edge rusher, would you have any trepidation in being like, all right, teams are starting to really make it so that these guys don't get the one-on-ones as maybe they were used to? Would that change the calculus for you at all?
Yeah, I think it's become a little bit more prevalent maybe over the last few years, but certainly teams have been doing that for, at least a half dozen or so more years. I mean,
Sure.
maybe, and that's typically been a part of what has made schemes more offensive line friendly is the ability to do that. And the first article I ever wrote for my Substack when I started in 2020 was the most offensive line friendly schemes, and I always often reference that. It was Sean McVay, Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, and Gary Kubiak at the time, who with the Vikings. Basically all Shanahan guys except Reid, or Shanahan-esque. So part of their magic is the ability to make life easier for offensive line in a lot of different ways in pass protection. But one of them, just kind of a random one, is what Andy Reid often does. It's called a squeeze formation, which is basically a condensed formation where you either have the tight end split out a little bit or a receiver, on a cut split, like pretty close, fairly close to the tackle. And that just sort of reduces the room for the edge rusher to operate. So they're a little bit more confined off the ball. And then the tight end or receiver or whatever gets into the route. But that split second of them being confined is often the difference between a win and a loss.